All right, perfect. Welcome. I am Mrs. Tatum. I have Mrs. Lastly here with me. If you've been with us for the last 4 weeks, you know who we are. If you are new to the testing prep workshops, welcome. We're glad you're here. We do have 4 weeks of presentations and recordings that you should have access to. If you could reach out to your ST, they should have those links. We like to provide you guys with those presentation links so you can access the actual videos and links and resources on those. We also like to provide you with the recording so you can hear us talking about the presentation as well. I am going to share my screen and we'll get started with our presentation today. And we have some people popping in, so just bear with us. Let me get my chat out. You guys are free to chat and ask questions. We can try to answer those to the best of our ability. If it's something that we can't answer or don't have the time for to answer today, please reach out to your STs. And all right, everybody can see my screen, hopefully. A thumbs up, a hands raised, a something to let me know. Yes, yes, some of those scholars, they know how to access the reactions at the bottom of their screen. Perfect, but thank you, Elizabeth, for confirming. So today is week 5 of test prep. We're almost there. A heads up for those of you that are new, or just a reminder, testing is happening April 12th through the 30th this year. You will start to hear from your ST soon, if you have not already, on a date that your scholar is going to be testing, or if you're a scholar in here, you will be receiving your date for testing pretty soon here, pretty shortly, so you can schedule that. But today we're going to be talking about the secure browser, and I go bum, 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 because it has been a lot, and some computers are doing it fine and some are not. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today, but I want to also preface that we will be really digging deep into the secure browser technology stuff, all of that wonderful things that I don't know a whole lot about when it comes to technology, but we're going to actually have one, if not hopefully 2, of our tech staff in our meeting next week to really dig deep and talk about the secure browser and answer some questions and hopefully troubleshoot for you. But we're only going to talk for a little bit about it today. We're going to try to get it downloaded for you today. And then we're also going to touch on some math and ELA question practice and walkthrough. We have dabbled a little bit in the practice tests, but we're gonna do it a little bit today and maybe have you log in and do some of those practice tests as well. So Andres, is the secure browser for CAASPP the same as for LPAC? Because I already downloaded it. Yes. Yes. Same one. Okay, I was going with my gut, so yes. All right, good question though. Okay, mission and vision. I read this every week. I love our mission and vision. I have a sticky note on my computer that reminds me of our mission and vision, but our mission here at Compass is to inspire and develop innovative, creative, self-directed learners, one scholar at a time. And then to go a little bit more deeper into that and broader, our vision statement is that we are to create a collaborative virtual learning community, inspiring our scholars to appreciate the ways in which the arts and sciences nurture a curiosity for lifelong learning and prepare our scholars to take responsibility for their future success. So once they have gone away from us and are out in the world, we're hoping to prepare them for that. Our agenda for today, we will be talking, like I said, we're going to be talking about the secure browser and hopefully downloading that for you. I have a video to share with you. It's about a 3-minute long video that will help with that. And then we have a few browser specifics we want to go over. And then after that, we will be digging deep a little bit into the math and ELA question practice and walkthrough. We'll get you logged in. We'll get you maybe starting the beginnings of some of those practice tests and questions. And then hopefully you will then be motivated and encouraged to do it on your own and really practice on your own. So this video, it's going to start without me pressing play. Hold on. This is the video I was talking about. I believe Mrs. Lastly is going to put this link in the chat box for you. You will have access to this presentation, which has the link to the video and all of that. But for the time being, if you want to click on it and then just pause it and have it in a tab to watch later, feel free. I'm going to play it here. Again, this is downloading the secure browser, and we'll talk a little bit more about it here in a minute.
Welcome to this downloading the secure browser on a Windows computer demonstration video, sponsored by the California Department of Education. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to download the secure browser on a personal computer that runs a supported Windows operating system for both the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, or CAASPP, and the English Language Proficiency Assessments for California, or LPAC. The secure browser is a program that will allow a student to take CAASPP and LPAC tests, and it can be installed on a personal computer to allow for testing. Start by navigating to bit.ly/spring_21 by entering that text into your preferred web browser, such as Chrome, Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. Select Download the secure browser in the sidebar. Then select the Secure Browser for Windows page. Select the blue Download the Secure Browser for Windows button. Once the file has downloaded, take one of the following steps. These steps may vary depending on the web browser being used. If presented with a choice to run or save the file, select Run. This opens the Secure Browser Setup Wizard. If presented only with the option to save the file to a convenient location. After saving the file, double-click the installation file that begins with CA Secure Browser to open the Setup Wizard. At some point in the process, you may see a pop-up window warning that files you are downloading or installing could be harmful to your computer. Don't worry. The Secure Browser program is safe for you to continue downloading and installing. Select OK or Run to continue to download and install the program. Follow the instructions in the Setup Wizard. When prompted for setup type, select Install. Select Finish to exit the Setup Wizard. A shortcut icon should now be visible on your desktop. When you're ready to take a test, simply close out all running programs and double-click the shortcut icon to launch the secure browser. Thank you for watching this
Oops, sorry. I went two slides back. I apologize. The video was ending and I was trying to pause it. So a couple of things. I'm gonna have Miss Lastly get on here. I know some of you were like, what was the link and what are we doing? You did not necessarily have to be doing it as that video was showing you. It was more of a visual beforehand. We do have a couple of links that we're going to share with you that discuss the different computers and iPads and stuff like that that you will be trying to download this on. And then again, she provided the link for you for the video to do it. But Miss Lastly, if you want to jump on, if you don't mind, would you mind sharing your screen so you have control so I don't have to worry about tabbing and all that if you want?
Sure. I don't think for what I was going to say it's necessarily needed at the moment, but I just wanted to address the Mac question. So I just put a Mac specific video link in the chat box for those of you that have Macs, and we are going to address that later. We wanted to show you this video because the general process of downloading the secure browser is the same, whether it's a Mac or a PC. And so I just wanted to kind of address that. But the video that I just shared in the chat box is Mac specific. And we're also going to talk about some Mac specific things next.
Okay. I just didn't know if you want to jump in. Do you
Sure.
want to share though, or do you want me to?
No, I'm happy to. It's up to you.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then you can share so that
okay.
I can help out with some other stuff in the chat and everything. So, okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, it is going to look like I am, and I'm so sorry. Of course, the very second we start, the dogs start barking in the back bedroom, and we have a tiny house. So I apologize. Jen, do you want to take over so they're not having to listen to the dog bark? I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to share mine. I know we keep changing and all that, but my kids are over here screaming because it's thundering and they think the sky is falling. So if you hear them, that's what's happening. Okay. So a couple of things that we wanted to, these are live links in the presentation that we wanted to go over with you before you even really start doing anything yet is this link here is the overview of secure browsers. I'm going to pop it up and share it in my screen. I think Ms. Leslie is going to paste the link for you in the chat box. I know it feels like a lot of links are coming at you. Please feel free to just wait if you want and watch the presentation to access those links, or for the time being, the most important thing that we would like for you to actually be doing and clicking on is really getting that browser downloaded. So if you want to look at my screen for now to see what we're doing and then download off the link, that's fine. If you already have the browser, that's fine too. Just hang tight because we're going to go over some practice tests here in a minute. So this link here, it was mentioned on the video, and it was talking about Windows. But if you hover over here on the left, you can also see that there's one for Windows with a video, and there's one for the Mac. Download the secure browser for Mac with a video. I personally have a Mac, and I know a lot of people have Macs, but there are all kinds of devices out there. So please find the correct link over here on the side for which computer or device that you're using, and then make sure to follow through in the steps with that. We're not going to watch a video for all three. We just wanted to watch that main one. Let me go back into the presentation. So this next one we would love for you to do. This is running the network diagnostics. If you can, please, I think Ms. Leslie will put the link for this one. This is important. And I know somebody was already in here and said they've already downloaded the secure browser, but if you have not, you need to go through the network diagnostics. And I'm going to actually show you on my screen how to do it. So for the sake of this, I'm going to actually just be a student. So if you can access that link, let me just make sure. So Ms. Leslie put it in there. I believe it was, is it the second link there that you copied and pasted, Brenda? I know there's two up there.
The one that I just put in is just one, I believe. Let me just make sure. I'll do it again.
Okay. So the network diagnostic link is what you're putting in there, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So
So
let me just make sure I did the right thing and it didn't do something funny.
it should be, because it says demo TDS can be a must, and I'm looking at it here.
Okay.
So if you can click on that and get this moving on your computer, you should see this screen. It tells you your operating system, browser version, all that good stuff.
Jen,
yes.
Excuse me for a minute. I just want to address a question that popped up in the chat. We're gonna address Chromebooks. I just didn't want you to think, Carrie, that we are ignoring you. Chromebooks actually have an issue, but we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. So if you can just hang tight, we'll make sure to circle back to that, okay?
And Abigail, we would love for you to do this if you don't have the secure browser already on your computer. You said you're on PC. Is this the computer that you will be using for testing? I'm assuming so. Hopefully, yes, I think. Okay, so if you can, please click the link that Mrs. Leslie put into the chat box. It's the one that says HTTPS, and then it says demo.tds. Please click that one and get to this page. And once you are here, I'm going to click that I am a student who will be taking a test remotely, because that's who is going to be doing this. Will your webcam be enabled? This is really important that you put yes. So just to touch really quickly, during CAASPP, you will have your camera enabled and on, and you will be able to see the ST or the test administrator on their camera as well, but nobody else will be able to see you, and you will not be able to see anybody else regardless of how many scholars are in that test session. Skylar, if you could do this, if you don't have this on your computer yet, we would like for you to do this. So just to reiterate, if you do not have a secure browser currently on the computer that you are on, please follow these steps and do it. If you're like, you know what, I just want to watch, I'll download the secure browser later because you just don't have the time or the brain power, please do that. Okay, so you can watch, but we do need you at some point to do this in the very, very near future so you are ready for testing. So I've clicked I am a student, and now I have clicked will your webcam be enabled? I'm going to click run test. This takes about 10 or 15 seconds or so, hopefully. I was doing it earlier and I'm like, how long is this gonna take? And then it popped up.
And I just want to address the
Yeah.
webcam question. Probably, it might bother a few people. The webcam is required for state testing. And we did address this early in our test sessions, but just in case you didn't hear it, nobody else can see you on the webcam except for the ST running the test session. So even though there's other scholars in there, there's nobody else can see you. So it's set up to be very secure and safe for the scholars. But the webcams will be required for state testing. So that's something really important to be checking on your computer.
And I just want to mention now, so if you don't have access, absolutely don't have any access to a computer that has a camera that can do this testing, you have brothers and sisters and you're all sharing, we do have a limited amount of computers available for scholars for testing that will that are supposed to have the secure browser already downloaded on it and is ready to go. So if you are in that boat, you need to please reach out to your ST and let them know, I need a computer for testing ASAP. I don't have access to a computer. This is not meant to be like, Oprah, you get a computer and you get a computer and you get a computer. It's for kiddos who don't have access to a computer, especially if you have siblings and there's 5 siblings that are at Compass testing and you happen to be testing on the same day and now we don't have enough computers to test. I totally understand that. That's why this is available for you. So please reach out to your ST about that. So let me just complete this. It says bandwidth diagnostic, camera enabled. It tells me, given the current network conditions, your available bandwidth meets or exceeds the necessary requirements. So that's good. You want it to say that, okay? So if that has happened and you have done that, that is kind of step 1. I'm gonna go back and we're going to, this is a really, really important document. We got it shared with us about a week or so ago and love it. If you can please access this link, if Miss Lassie wants to put it in the chat box. I know a lot of links, but we're trying to kind of keep it organized and in order. This will show you your operating system, so and your device and the browser. So if you can look at this chart, please, and figure out if you are using a Mac or an iPad, or you're using a Chromebook, so you can see everything on here. You will be able to look at the different operating systems. So if you've updated or whatever, you can see that here. Yes, Brenda, go ahead.
So something we just wanted to make sure to point out to you, it's a little bit confusing, and it's because the state's been trying to keep up with all the issues that are arising as they roll out something that's never been done before, which is remote testing. So with that said, when you go to that overview of secure browsers, and Ms. Tatum showed you how there's an area for Windows and it showed a button to click to download the secure browser, and an area for Mac and a button to click to download the secure browser. That secure browser for Mac specifically is only good to 10.15. And for all you Mac people, if I said that incorrectly, forgive me. I'm not a Mac girl. My husband want to shoot me for saying that, but I'm not. So if you have a Mac that has an operating system 11, you'll want to not go to that site or use that button. You'll want to use this document. And this document has a specific secure browser for the OS 11 system.
Okay, so just to piggyback, if you, after you've looked at this top part, if you scroll, that's okay, Skylar, if you scroll down to this important information section, it will give you directly to the link that you need to download the secure browser for whatever operating system that you're using. So make sure that you do this. We're doing this now, right? So if you have the computer out and you're ready to go and you've done the diagnostic and you want to just get it done and get that secure browser downloaded, go ahead and click if you have a Mac. So I'm a Mac girl. We're a Mac family, but it's just all I've ever known. And my Mac updates automatically. And so if you have a Mac and you have any kind of computer and it does auto updates, specifically the Mac though, it did this automatic update. And then when we were informed that this Big Sur, Mac OS 11, whatever didn't work, we realized this document came out and this will work. So if you can please, I don't know how many of you are actually, Abigail, if you could, we're downloading the secure browser. So if you know what kind of computer you're on and what kind of operating system you're working with, you can go ahead and click the link according to what you're on, and it should take you into the steps to download the secure browser. Do you know, you said you're on a PC, but what kind of PC?
I think you can go to settings and then see the about computer info. Of course, I really think literally every time I start talking, the dogs start barking.
Yeah, it's like when you're a mom and it's quiet and then all of a sudden you get on the phone and they start bothering you. So Abigail, is it a Chromebook? My son has a Chromebook. Is that so HP is like the brand, and then you have what kind it is. So what does it say on it? Oh, and like Brenda said, you can go to the settings or.
Yeah, settings, and then I just looked at it. It's sorry, I need to look at it again because that was a long time ago. And then system, you want to go to system and then about. So settings and then system and then about. And it will tell you, if you scroll down and look at all the different information, it'll tell you what you've got. Like mine tells me I have a Windows 10 Pro. And then if you want to just, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a spot that says reactions. When you have that secure browser downloaded, you could do a thumbs up or a green check.
And if you can't, sometimes my kids can't find it, if you can't access those reactions or don't have them or are lost, just go ahead and type in the chat box, all done or.
Okay, so you have Windows 10 Pro, perfect. So you would, looks like, I think you download the second one. So not the top one, but the second Windows option on the document.
So you would click here, Abigail, on here. Click that link. In fact, the link for that, if you scroll up in the chat, Miss Lastly put it in there right before she says, may I jump in? So if you could click on that, find the second one down and go ahead and run through the steps, that'd be great. And just for the sake of time, is anybody working on it and haven't figured it out, or kind of let me know where you're at? Are you not going to do it today? Just update me on I call it a pulse check. Where are we at with this? Are you going to do it later on your own time? Have you already done it? Are you working on it? If you could put in the chat box, let us know kind of what's going on. That would be great. Okay, so Ivan will do it later. That's fine too. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Later. And that's totally okay. We are just wanting to really get it moving because it's already March 10th and we've got about a month or so till testing, and we just want to make sure that it's all good to go. Okay, Skylar, that's fine.
Also, just for anybody watching the recording or in here specifically, if you're scheduled to take the LPAC, you will need the secure browser to take the LPAC as well, so that it's even more time sensitive for you. So please, 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 it'll make it go exponentially more smoothly and quickly for you in terms of taking the test.
Perfect. So I think there was only, Skylar's not on the computer that they're going to be working on. That's fine. Test on. Abigail says, I clicked on that. Now what? So you should, when you click on that, it should prompt you through the steps to download it. Raphael says, it says I need to close out a ton of things to log into the secure browser. But do you have the secure browser on your computer? Like, the little icon should be there all ready to go. Oh, when you open it, it says you need to close out. Huh.
Right, that's part of the security. It won't let you have anything else open. And that's just part of the test security. So when you open a secure browser, everything else has to be closed because, I mean, if you think about it, they're trying to make sure you're not looking up answers and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. I was like, why would that happen? But yes, you don't want a bunch of tabs open and kiddos Google searching all the answers. Okay. All right. So I feel like most of us are waiting till later, or some of us have done it. Someone said already did it during the video. Perfect, Delilah. I wish everybody could download it as quickly as some of you have. We've had some issues with it, so I'm glad that it's working for some of you. Again, if you go to do this and you have issues, please email your ST, please. And if they don't have the answer, they will reach out to us, the testing department, and we will find an answer for you. So are we good to move forward then? There is one more section here, on this slide that Miss Lastly is going to go over when it comes to, I think we kind of talked about this, but if you want to touch on this a little bit before we get into the practice test, you can. If not, let me know.
Sure. Just a recap. So Chromebooks aren't compatible with the secure browser. So if you have a Chromebook, you'll need to ask your ST to request a computer specifically for testing. And that doesn't cost you anything. It's just time sensitive, like Ms. Tatum said earlier. So this is even if you have a Chromebook, which normally should be okay to use, you'll need to request a computer from your ST. That's only if their Chromebook's something you purchase privately, so outside of our charter school. If it's something you got from our charter school, then you might still need to download the secure browser, but you should be good to go in terms of compatibility. For the Mac, we just covered that. It just requires that separate secure browser that's specifically for the operating system 11. And then for iPads specifically, it has to be the updates 12.4 or above. And again, I know all you Apple people out there are cringing because I don't know my speak, but it's anything below a 12.4 update is not going to work with the secure browser. So if you're thinking of using an iPad, that's a consideration. The other consideration with any kind of tablet is that if you don't have a separate keyboard for taking the test, it's going to be really, really difficult because the keyboard pops up on the tablet screen and covers most of the screen. So it'd be super, super frustrating. So highly recommended that even though the tablets are available to use, or you can use a tablet and it's compatible, it's going to be real frustrating. So it would be much better to take it on a computer. And that's it. We can move on and move into the testing. So we're going to log into, Ms. Tatum is going to stop sharing her screen and I'm going to share mine. And it's going to look like I'm looking away from you because I have this up on a second screen. So I just apologize ahead of time. What I'd like you guys to do though, is this time I'd really like you to log in with me, but instead of you logging into just a random grade level to try it, I'd like you to log into your grade level. We're going to get you started. We're not going to take you through an entire test just because of time interest. We had to kind of sort and file and figure out what was highest priority. So the secure browser kind of took priority. But we'd like to get you started. We'd like you to answer a few questions while you're in this session. So we're going to go like 3 questions in, and then you'll just hold it, not close it out, and then hopefully finish as much as you'd like to finish until you have a feel for it after we close up the session. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the chat box.
I did already. It's in the chat box.
Oh, you did? Oh, you rock.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to click on the student, or I think you actually gave them the direct one, right? Student practice and training tests.
Sorry, yeah, it's the CAASPP practice and training. Should be right. Yep, it looks just like your screen. Is that where they should be? Looks just like the slide.
Yeah, it just is different.
Is that not it?
It is, but it's making me log in.
Oh.
Which is odd. So I apologize, you guys. I am logging in.
I clicked the link in the chat box and it just takes me right to that page. So
let me just click the link in the chat box and see if something's going wonky with my computer. Oh, it takes me to the interface page, but when I click on the practice, the student interface practice and training tests, it wants me to log in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So hang on a second, which is odd. Actually, families, would you do me a favor and just go ahead and click on that link and tell me if it's asking you to log in or what you see when you try? I'm very curious now. It's never done this before, including like as late as last night. Is anybody in there where you can go to the login page? Is it making you? It lets you choose between 3 other pages sites. So you would choose the student. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now because I just got logged in. But it should have taken me to this right off the bat. So that's what I'm concerned about. I want to make sure you have access to this. So you should be able to click on this button, the student interface, practice and training tests. And then it should take you to that. Is that happening for everybody? Does it show you the choose a test grade, Abigail? Okay, that's fine. So okay, perfect. So go ahead and choose your appropriate grade for your scholar. I'm just choosing a grade. Don't choose the same as mine. Choose the one that's appropriate for your scholar. Yeah, if you click sign in, that trips you up just a little bit. My screen used to show that. I don't know what changed, and they must have had some kind of update. But the sign in is, you just disregard the sign in, click on it, and it takes you straight to choosing a test grade. Yeah, we actually share this. There's a YouTube channel. Let me get the YouTube channel for you.
I can grab it if you want, Brenda.
Oh, that would be awesome. We'll put the YouTube channel in the chat box for you. Okay, so you're gonna pick your grade level, then you're gonna pick which test that you'd like to do. So if you wanna try, you wanna do not the interim assessments. Okay, so you're looking for, see, this isn't, mine isn't giving you the right thing, you guys, I apologize. I'm not sure what's happening on my little end of the world here, but you're going to want to look for the CAASPP, the CAASPP tests. Do we have screenshots, Ms. Tatum, that we can share? I feel like this is not going to be helpful because for whatever reason, my system's messed up right now. Something's going wonky. I want to make sure they actually know what to look for.
Let me, so that link right there, it's a big one. That's the YouTube link for the recordings. And then let me.
I apologize, you guys. This literally was working as of early this morning. So something's happened. Something must be glitching in the system. So we've got some screenshots though that will show you, or maybe Ms. Tatum can just share her screen. I'm not sure.
What are you, because I clicked in and I have the sign in, it says guest user, guest session, sign in, and then select a grade.
Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
I can walk them through because it's just not, it's not working on mine for whatever weird reason.
Is this what you're?
Yep, this is exactly what they need to see. Perfect.
Okay, so let me just go back real quick just for a second. So this is
so you're not gonna mess with any of those. When you see those toggles that you just saw on Ms. Tatum's screen, you don't touch any of that. It's a little bit counterintuitive. You'll just ignore that and go down to sign in. And then you're gonna select your grade. So whatever your appropriate grade is. And then you're gonna look for the Smarter Balanced practice tests. You don't want to do the training tests because you need a code for those. So the practice tests are surely for you to get used to the test. So for this purpose, we'll choose that one, the ELA practice test. This page specifically just goes through if your scholar has a 504 or an IEP, any accommodations or modifications that are in your scholar's plan. This is where those settings would happen. So if you know what those are, you can actually practice with those tools and set this page up. Just to show you, it's a little counterintuitive. Ms. Tatum, if you would just choose one option and toggle it, it looks like they're all on. They're actually all off when they look like that. You have to toggle it to look like it's off for it to be on. So just a little, yeah. So then do the sound check. Has to play all the way through. And you verify. And this is just if you want to check your test settings one more time. Also, the help guide is really useful to look at least just once. It goes over things like pause rules, meaning like what happens if my child needs to stop during the test, or what happens if my technology crashes, those kinds of things. All of that is actually covered in that help guide. So it might be useful to take a look at that and know, and then go ahead and begin the test now. And then for all of you following along in your own grade level, obviously you'd be looking at something different. So we're gonna actually stop this right now, but we're gonna ask that you continue to take the test and go through at least, I'd say 5 to 6 questions and get a feel for the test, and then go to the math and do the same thing and get a feel for the test. Take a look at the performance task for both the math and the ELA as well.
So Carrie says there's no CAASPP option for 7th grade. Let me.
You would, Carrie, did you check that you had put in 7th grade under the grade level? It's really easy sometimes to input the wrong grade.
Yeah, I just put in 7th and I've got, there you go. Okay, all good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I apologize. I think I did that too because I was a little flustered that my system wasn't working properly. And I think I said CAASPP instead of Smarter Balanced. So that was my fault, not yours.
Long day. I agree. It's only 3:40 and I'm like, is it over yet?
So we can probably go ahead and advance to the next slide. And I'm going to actually put our slide presentation in the chat box. It's going to force you to make a copy. So when you click on it, and go ahead and click on it while you're in the session, it will actually force you to make a copy, and that will be your own copy. So you can make notes on it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not connected to us. And that will have all of the resource links that we've shared. So if there are any that you didn't capture, they're all on this presentation, including the resources that we share at the end. Ms. Tatum, do you want to wrap it up or do you want me to?
Yes, sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine.
So we've gone over some resources every week, and I know this page always looks the same, but please know that some of the things do change. This, for the most part, you know, we've got the CAASPP website here with some parent resources. Highlighted here, the technology checker section for scholars to check that their devices are ready. We did that today. That was that diagnostic testing. Starting smarter for parents and scholars. There's some more resources. And then, like we've done today, some practice and training tests. And then always type-tastic. I think my husband needs to take this. He's the worst typer ever. He's a one finger typer, but I think it's good for kiddos to really know how to type smoothly, especially when it comes to testing, so that, you know, what could have taken half an hour took maybe 2 hours because they're typing real slow. So that's always a good one. Questions, we would ask that you contact your ST for any questions that arise after this session. For the time being, we would be happy to answer a few questions that you have that are burning in your brain right now. I'm sure questions will arise later. Those are the ones we want you to take to your ST. But are there any questions or concerns that are burning in your brain right now that you'd like to ask us? If so, please put those in the chat box and we will do our best to answer them. And I guess I should say, if you don't have any questions, we're glad you joined us today. We're on week 5 of test prep. Next week is that digging really deep into the browser, the secure browser, any troubleshooting, any technology issues. We're going to really focus solely on next week. So if you guys can join us next week, that would be great. Does the practice you want us to do right now matter? No, this is, well, okay. Does it matter? Yes, I think it matters to you to prepare you and to get your mind ready for what you're going to be seeing on testing day. Is there a grade? No. Does it matter when it comes to your courses and stuff right now? No, but it matters to you to prepare you. So nobody's looking at those results and checking in on you. It's for you to practice and to just really get yourself used to what those questions are going to look like, and you know what they're going to feel like when you read them and stuff like that. So it's really kind of just preparing you for test day. Good question, Abigail.
Abigail, I would add to the question wording, the verbiage in the questions is different. So it's going to be different from a lot of, and pretty much most of what you experience in your normal curriculum. especially when you're an option student, because we utilize so many different types of curriculum. So they're not necessarily trying to focus on using wording / verbiage that the state would use. So part of the reason for us wanting you to practice is so that that wording doesn't throw you and you're able to decipher it and understand it really easily when that test day comes. Does that make sense?
And Eleanor, I see that you said, I'm assuming you're wondering if they let you know if you got the answer correct. They do not. Right, Miss Lossley? That was like my thought. They don't necessarily tell you right and wrong.
It doesn't, and I wish it did, but it doesn't. So it's really just to get used to the format and the verbiage of the test itself.
Yeah, it's not really whether or not you get them right or wrong in the practice test. Like she said, it's more just getting yourself used to the verbiage and how things are worded and how they look, and getting you used to seeing that so that you don't log in for the first time on test day and go, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm looking at. The format is weird. You will be able to wrap your head around the format and the way the questions are asked, and visually to get yourself ready. But they don't necessarily tell you right and wrong, and they're not the same questions. These are not going to be the questions on the test. So these are practice questions. These are similar questions, but they're not going to be the exact questions. And Abigail, as far as having Grammarly on, are you talking about like when you're typing or like when you're answering questions? I don't know. I don't think, I don't know. I've never actually used Grammarly before. My husband uses it for his PhD when he types papers, but
Was Grammarly, is it on your computer? Is it something you toggled on the test settings? And just as a side, I just put that link in the chat box. If you scroll down to the bottom of that page, there's practice test resources, and they have scoring guides for each of the grade levels for the practice tests. So that might be useful just to see how you're scored, and it includes the performance task as well as the computer adaptive portion. Okay, so it's on your computer. So I'm pretty sure, Abigail, it's going to want you to have all of that disabled for the test. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm sure it's going to tell you. So the browser wants everything, like somebody earlier was saying, he was supposed to close a bunch of things out to get the secure browser to work. It's going to be telling you, hey, close this, turn this off.
are there any other questions or concerns, things you've run into when trying to download the browser? I know that, like I said, you guys are going to do this later and download it later, and that's probably when things are going to occur, and you're going to be like, what did they say about that part? Please access the presentation and go to that page where we talked about the browser specifics and access those links first. Try to troubleshoot, and then if that doesn't work, reach out to your ST, and that's your supervising teacher. And if there aren't any more questions, you guys are free to log off. We appreciate you spending some extra time with us today. It was a long one. I didn't think it would take a lot of our time to talk about the browser, but it is a really important piece. If you don't have that, you can't test. So thank you for your time and wonderful questions. And you guys are, whether you're scholars or learning coaches, you guys are doing a favor for your scholar or learning coach, those of you being here. So we appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.